A whistleblower from Facebook accusing the company of putting profit over safety.
There were conflicts of interest between what was good for the public and what was good for Facebook. And Facebook over and over again chose to optimize for its own interests, like making more money.
Facebook whistleblower. What's going on, y'all? Attorney Tom here. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the lawsuit around the Facebook whistleblower. And before we begin, no, this video is not about crazy conspiracy theories about Facebook deleting data or the human trafficking or all the harm that Facebook may or may not have caused. And this video is also not about the Facebook whistleblower's moral aptitude, her need to do good, her coming forward to prevent big bad Facebook from ruining lives. No, I'm gonna use this example to teach y'all about the Dodd-Frank Whistleblower Act because it's an extremely important and interesting area of the law. And also I'm gonna tell you how I think the Facebook whistleblower could potentially make hundreds of millions of dollars from this case. Okay, let's jump right into it. First, a little bit of context. For anybody who doesn't know, this is Frances Haugen, a former data scientist at Facebook. She left Facebook sometime earlier in 2021, and when she left Facebook, she took a whole bunch of data with her. That data essentially said that Facebook essentially promotes misinformation in order to boost engagement because, shocker, people like polarizing content. It's a whole lot easier to keep people on the platform when there is polarizing content and content that makes them angry than when there's pictures of cute puppies and cats and just other cute things. But here is the interesting part. And I know this really isn't a surprise for anybody who's been on Facebook for more than 2 seconds, but let me tell you what I find interesting. Ms. Haugen said Facebook harms children, sows division, and undermines democracy in pursuit of breakneck growth and astronomical profits. And I know this is going to sound crass, but the key words in this entire thing are astronomical profits. So if Facebook is focused on astronomical profits, then why would she report this to the SEC? The SEC is what governs the financial institution, the stock behind Facebook. The SEC is meant to protect investors. And don't you think investors want a company to pursue astronomical profits? Even if Facebook is literally committing moral atrocities, why would she whistleblow to the SEC? And the reason is Section 1922 of the 2010 Dodd-Frank Whistleblower Protection Act. You see, the first question somebody asked me about this case is, does Facebook have any recourse against the whistleblower for leaking internal memos? And the answer to that is no. And while this is from another lawyer's website, it is a good summary. The Dodd-Frank Act also prohibits employers from retaliating against employees for reporting violations of laws regulating consumer finance, corporate and accounting fraud, and commodity and currency exchanges. Whistleblowers who report securities violations to the SEC are entitled to the broad protections available under the Act. So the whistleblower's first order of business was to report this to the SEC as a securities violation in order to secure protection. Facebook was just in the pursuit of astronomical profits. Therefore, they were looking after their shareholders. Therefore, they legally did nothing wrong. Well, I wouldn't be so sure of that. Anybody can make a profit or even astronomical profits, but you have to do it legally. For instance, my law firm, I could tomorrow decide that I want to be the next Better Call Saul and run a money laundering scheme for criminals. I could make astronomical profits, but I would be doing it in an illegal way and therefore exposing my shareholders, which is just me, but you get the point, to legal liability. The same way that if theoretically, if Facebook is doing illegal things, fraudulent things, or deceptive trade practices by promoting its algorithm to keep engagement by fostering misinformation, well, there could be future legal liabilities. And if there are future legal liabilities, those are exposing the shareholders of Facebook. Therefore, even if Facebook is obtaining astronomical profit, there could very well be a case with the SEC. And let me tell you a little secret. Come closer. A little closer. Come here. Political pressure absolutely plays a role in big government hearings like this. This is creating an outrage. So, likely, the SEC is going to leave no stone left unturned. It is just the way it is. Now, let's transition this conversation to the financial incentives of whistleblowers. Section 922 of the Dodd-Frank Act awards whistleblowers 10 to 30% of any monetary recovery over $1 million that the SEC obtains from an offending party through enforcement actions. Yes, you heard that right. Snitches get stitches, unless you voluntarily report an SEC violation, in which case snitches get 10 to 30% of the fine. Let me be clear. If Facebook is fined $1 billion, the whistleblower is at a very least going to get 100 million, 10%. Now let's say Facebook is fined $5 billion. Well, 10% of that is 500 million. 10 billion, 10% of that is $1 billion. And if you don't believe me, this is an article from September 15th of 2021. The SEC issues $114 million to 2 whistleblowers. So this is a very real area of the law. And I don't know about y'all, but I think it's smart. Hell yeah, do I want to incentivize people coming forward when companies are breaking the law. There's literally no better incentive than a monetary incentive.
Money!
And y'all, this video is not a discussion about why the Facebook whistleblower came forward. I don't care whether she did it for moral reasons or for monetary reasons or a mixture of both, because it's irrelevant. The law is there regardless of the intent of the whistleblower. But as my job, Attorney Tom, your lawyer on YouTube, not your real lawyer, your lawyer on YouTube, I need to educate y'all about the law. And this is a super interesting area of the law. And I know it's in the limelight now because of Facebook, but whistleblower acts happen all of the time. And they're often very, very interesting. So that was the purpose of this video, to tell you that there is protections for whistleblowers coming forward. There is a monetary award for whistleblowers whose actions end up in a monetary assessment of the offender of $1 million or more. And to be honest, I had a lot of fun making this video. I just hope my comment section isn't filled with the plethora of keyboard warriors ready to put on their tin hat. All right, y'all, that's it for today's video. But one last thing before we go, because I'm curious. How much should Facebook be fined by the SEC, if any? Let me know down below in the comments. All right, y'all. Remember, my goal is always to make content worthy of your time. I hope this was worth your time. Thank you so much for watching. I ask that you consider subscribing to our community. We just passed 444,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is absolutely crazy. All right, y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye.
He's a catastrophic injury attorney who accidentally became a YouTuber. Attorney Tom.